Hello guys, thank you very much for joining in. Hi, this is Ganesh Naik. I help finance professionals and students to excel in their career and become a better version of themselves. And today I am back with one of my videos in which I'll be talking to one of my students, Jinesh, and he's going to share with us his experience of clearing the exam. He's been able to clear the FRM level 1 in July 2021 in the first attempt. And the discussion primarily would revolve around what are the challenges that he faced, how was the preparation that he did, what was the methodology that he used, and which month he completed everything, what was the exam like, and everything related to the preparation. So first of all, Jinesh, thank you very much for joining in and taking out time. I really appreciate that because I know you're a working professional. It takes you'll have to take out time from that entire schedule and dedicate to this. So thank you very much for that, and welcome to the show. And uh, before we start the conversation, Jinesh, so just give me a brief about yourself in terms of when you started thinking about FRM. What were you doing before that, and what was the status that you had?
Yeah, first of all, thank you, sir, for inviting me on this topic and having a discussion about the FRM preparation, how I did that. I'm in brief introduction about myself. So I'm Jinesh Vira. I have been working professional for almost 15 years. So when I thought that I wanted to do something new, I thought of CFA and FRM both. Okay, but then after talking to my friends and my colleagues, I decided that I should go for FRM rather than CFA because that was more relevant to my domain and the way in which I wanted to progress ahead. So that is why I chose FRM, and then I decided to look for the uh, classes, the online classes. Because of pandemic, we don't have the physical classes.
Right.
Even I talked to my friends and colleagues about the FRM. So they told me that it's a good course and you should go for it. So that's how I progressed, and I mean I decided to go for FRM.
Okay. And so when you started the preparation of FRM, how many years of work experience you already had?
I already had 14 years of experience. So when I started, I mean in the last November, I started to just look for what should I do, and within a month or so I decided that I'll go for FRM. But by that time I completed 14 years of experience.
So there was basically a gap of 14 years in your formal education.
Yes, almost, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Now the reason I'm asking you this question because a lot of people come to me and they ask me this: I have a gap, should I go? So I want to tell people that it is possible and you can clear the exam first. So
yes, exactly. Yeah. Yes,
so,
yes, sir. You are back on. Yeah.
When you started that, so you joined us in which month?
I inquired in the month of January first or second week, and then I joined in the last week of January. And then I mean the first batch, I mean the first lecture itself for me started on 26 January.
Right.
I remember that date because I had contacted you early morning, and then you said, "Oh, we have a batch. Join in for the lectures."
Right. Okay, perfect. And also, so I want to understand your perspective of starting a preparation after a gap of 14 years. So what are the challenges that you faced, and how did you manage to do it?
Yeah. So initially it was really tough for me because after 14 years studying like a full time, because FRM is a quantitative exam. It's not so, I mean, not so easy, but not even difficult to clear. I mean, in terms of understanding and clearing the exam. But to start off with, after 14 years of gap, that was literally tough for me. And what I did was starting with like say 1 hour in the morning and 1 hour in the evening, I started my preparation. Okay, and definitely over the weekend we had classes and lectures. So like there we had around 4 to 5 hours in the morning and 3 to 4 hours in the evening, the lectures. And during the weekdays I used to spend at least minimum 1 hour in the morning and one and a half hour in the evening. So that's how during the week it started, and then gradually it increased to like 2 hours in the morning and then 2 hours in the evening. So that's how I prepared myself.
Okay, got it.
But there were times when I had a lot of work and I could not even study for complete weeks. So what I used to do then again in the next week, I used to manage like 4 hours or 3 hours, that way.
Right. Perfect. So you started from January end, and there was a period of gap between that till June end or July exam. what was that gap period? I mean, you said that there were certain times we could not prepare. So was it in a stretch
Yeah.
of 1-2 weeks that happened?
Yes. So yeah, it was in the stretch of 1-2 weeks, and I mean almost 3-4 times it happened that because of workload, I could not give time to the FRM preparation.
Mm-hmm.
So what I used to do then, whenever we had some holidays or something, or public holidays, then I used to study for that entire day. And but that
Mm-hmm.
also like gradually started, because I mean having a gap of 14 years and then doing the study full time was difficult for me.
Right. Now, so when you picked up the book, sorry, when you picked up the book, the 4 books, did you find any particular topic difficult at the start, or any topic easy because of your work experience or your background?
Yeah, so because of background, I would say the futures options, those topics were, I would say not simpler, but yeah, that was easy for me to even pick up those topics, because I
Hmm.
day in day out we work in that domain, so we know. But in terms of bonds, because I was new to that topic completely, so that was not difficult, I would say. But at the start, it was quite uh, okay to, I mean, start off with.
Okay.
But then gradually I picked up and it was okay for me. And with respect to theory, so theory is, we have to mug up the theory, or we have to remember that theory. So that was a quite challenging stuff for me, because I mean after 14 years
Hmm.
or so, I mean the gap of 14 years, we have to remember so many stuff in terms of theory. So that
Hmm.
was quite difficult for me to remember. So that topics of theory chapters, I revise at least twice or thrice, so that I remember the stuff properly.
Got it. Okay. And so till when you were able to complete the first reading of the entire book, all the 4 books?
Yeah, so end of June, I mean I was late, because of the workload I could not complete the reading on time what I had planned. But
Hmm.
then end of June I completed my first reading, and in the July I had my exam. Third week of July I had my exam, so I had 3 weeks of time, and I had taken 1.5 week leave for my preparation. So that was a good time, where I got time to revise the stuff, and
Hmm.
even the important concepts and the mock test and everything. So I gave
Right.
that during that time.
Right. But you were able to complete the question bank also by the end of June, right? Question bank and the
Yeah, so
reading.
almost, yes, the reading and question bank. But
Hmm.
question bank I did not do for all the chapters. I'm because I did not have time to complete those. But I almost out of the 60 readings I completed for 45 or 45 to 47 readings. So question banks were completed for 47 readings, and I
Hmm.
purposely chose to not to do the question bank for some of the theory chapters.
Okay. Okay. So almost 13 chapters, you were not able to see the question bank itself, primarily.
Yes, but I made sure that at least I go through the PDF file which had question answers both. I did not give the exam, but I made sure I go through
Acha.
the complete question and answer which were provided.
Hmm.
So that's how I completed the remaining 13 chapters.
Perfect. And when you were solving the question bank, you might have seen difficult questions into that. Your own preparation,
Yeah.
of course. How were you
Yes.
dealing with that?
So difficult questions, what I used to do, I mean, even in the mock exam or during the sectional test, or even the chapter wise testing. So what I used to do is, whenever the difficult question comes, I used to first, I mean, just read the question. Okay. And if I'm
Hmm.
not understanding the question, or the options are not very clear, I used to mark those questions, and then at the end again come back and then try to eliminate the answers which are not relevant. Okay.
Hmm.
Suppose out of the four options given, at least two were the obvious one, those are not relevant. So out of the two one, then you have to pick up a best guess.
Okay.
So that's how I used to do it.
Okay. Got it. Now, in terms of the last week or last 15 days, so you said you did sectional test, right? The
Yeah.
one which we provided, the book-wise test. Then you
Yeah.
also did mock papers. How many mock papers you were able to solve before these?
So I was able to solve only, yeah, I was able to solve complete by sitting 4 hours. I was able to I was able to solve only one mock paper. But for the other two mock papers, I made sure that I have gone through the solutions and everything, because I really did not had much time
Hmm.
before my exam, because I was also giving the sectional test, and then I started with the mock test. So I did not have time. So I made sure that I had gone through the Swazer's last year paper, and then one mock test of Swagger, and one mock test of the Fintelligence, which sir you had provided.
Okay, perfect.
And the remaining ones I had gone through the solutions.
Okay, so primarily you had seen the four mock papers, but not
Yes.
able to solve it in a proper manner. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Now, when we talk about the exam day, okay, what happened in that 4 hours? And my primary questions would be, were you able to solve 100 questions? That one. Second would be, was there a time in that 4 hours that you felt certain panic, certain stress because you're not able to solve? Third would be, were you able to solve 25 questions for each hour? Okay. And what was your state of mind during that entire 4 hours?
Okay. So first of all, to start with solving that 100 questions in the span of 4 hours and how the mental state was. So when I started the exam, the first question was difficult. Okay. So,
Okay.
and it was a probability. I mean, I had solved the probability chapter thoroughly, but the question was so difficult that I could not attempt that. So what I did, I mean, the way I was doing during my study time also. So I just marked that question and move forward. Okay, so there were at least 5 to 6 questions during out of that 100 questions, which I was not even able to understand the question or even the options. So what I did, I just marked the questions, and then at the end, again, I relooked at those questions, and then the same way which I did during my preparation, try to eliminate the answers, and out of the one or two options left, we have to pick up best guess. And talking about within the 4 hours giving 100 questions, so I was able to solve comfortable. I was able to solve around 90 to 93 questions, and there were 5 6 questions which I said which were very difficult. So then I had to pick up the best guess out of it, out of the two options, which I mean I eliminated the two options, and between the two options I had to select the best one. The state of mind was like, yeah, within 4 hours. Say FRM is a quantitative exam, so the pressure was there. But we have given the competitive exams in the earlier or also and during my engineering exam and everything. So that was not so difficult for me because I had given or faced similar situations earlier also. So that was not very difficult.
Okay.
Yeah, and the third question related to the topics and attempting 25 questions in each hour. So in the first hour, I almost solved 30 questions. Okay, because some of the questions I left, and then in the second hours and so I was able to solve 25 questions. So at the end, I had around 15 to 20 minutes left with me. So again, I went back and solved the other questions which were left because I was not able to, or I was not confident on those questions. So those questions I again revisited and then looked at the answers and picked up the best guess for those questions.
Perfect. And also with respect to the total 100 questions that you solved, okay, out of that, how many of them primarily you are confident and that you can say that I've done it properly?
Yeah, so out of those 100 questions, I was confident on 60 around 65 questions because around 25 questions were calculation questions. So I was very confident on those. Some of the theory questions also I was very confident, and some of the questions related to that MBS, VAR chapters, I was really confident on those. So almost 60 to 65 questions, I was really confident that I have done it properly, and answers also given were exactly, I mean, the way it is supposed to be.
Okay, and the rest 40, 45, primarily you did a lot of guesswork and you.
Yes. Yeah. So even I mean the 6 questions were really difficult, but out of the remaining ones like 25 questions also they were tricky. Okay, but I would not say those were like in the difficult category.
Okay, and the paper was theoretical?
As I said, 2020, I mean around 25 to 27 questions were calculation based, and rest all were theory, and the theory was tricky.
Okay, and the calculation was easy. Was it straightforward?
Yeah, the calculation. Yes. It was straightforward, except for 1 or 2 questions related to probability. Those were difficult, but rest all calculations were very easy. I mean, straightforward.
In terms of the question, the theory questions were also connected to calculation, or is it pure theory? What's your
No,
view?
theory questions were not related to calculations, but they were related to 2 or 3 chapters. Like you start with the VAR concept, and then even the MBS was involved in it. You start with regression, and then hypothesis was also involved in that. So that kind of interlinking of the chapters were done in the theory questions.
Okay. And so what was the score that you had when you came out of the last score of the exam?
So out of 100, I got around 67.
Now, when you looked at that number, what was the thought that came to your mind?
So I was really happy because I said that I was confident about 60 to 65 questions which I solved, and I was confident that those were right. So by looking at the 67 score, I was really happy, and I thought I would definitely pass in that.
Right. Interesting. I mean, and because initially also I was slightly of the opinion that it has to be around above 60 to 65 to clear the exam. But then I also saw that people are scoring with the lower score. So that was not a problem as such, because the mindset related to the exam is that it's very tough, it's heavy calculation to it. But in the last 2 exams, we have seen that it is more of theory. And that because in from book 2, which is quantitative also, we can see that a lot of theory questions were there, right? So
yes,
that one change was very, very interesting for the exam pattern, and that is definitely going to help a lot of people to come for this exam. Now, when you saw this entire result and you informed to your family and friend, what was the reaction that you got from people?
Sorry, sir.
What was the reaction? What was the reaction that you got when the result was out? When you told your friends and family, what was the reaction you got from people?
Yes, definitely. I mean, my friends, my family members, everybody was happy because clearing this competitive exam is really tough. And looking at the past results of the FRM, like we have around 40% results. So that was really great. And even my colleagues appreciated that you cleared the exam in the first attempt, because I have seen my colleagues and my friends, they have not cleared the FRM exam in the first attempt. Even for FRM 1 or FRM 2, they have given at least twice or thrice. And some of the people have cleared in the first attempt. So they were like, yeah, it's good that you have cleared in the first attempt. And now you should definitely go for FRM2 also.
Right. And also, if suppose tomorrow any student comes to you and asks for any quick tips, the top 3 tips for FRM exam preparation, what would be that from your side?
Yeah. First is you have to prepare yourself that you have to study at least in a day. Okay. In a day, at least 2 to 3 hours, because there are 60 readings. Okay. And you have to complete, and you have to make sure that you give the test. Okay. You give the sectional test, because chapter wise test, like first you read the chapter and then you give the test. It's easy because you just remember that chapter and you give the test. Okay. But now when it comes to sectional test, when it comes to the mock test, you have to remember complete 60 chapters, and the concepts are interlinked in those questions. Okay. And the questions are tricky. Okay. So you have to remember the concepts from different chapters, different books also. So make sure that you complete all your readings on time, and you give enough time during the week also. Okay. Because see, suppose, I mean, just take an example of, I'm taking an example of myself. When I joined in the month of January, I just had 6 months. And for me, it was a 14 years of gap. And then after I started the studying, initially it was really tough for me to even study, because जैसे book उठाता था, I used to get sleep. Okay, अरे भाई अभी नींद आ रहा है, छोड़ दो. So initially it was really tough for me, but then gradually I did the study, and I got on the track. So first, complete your study on time, and give enough time for the chapters and completing the theory or even the calculation part, and the 60 readings basically. Another thing is giving the mock test. Okay, that's very, very important, because that gives you a kind of feeling that you are in the exam for 4 hours, how you are going to give that exam. Because sometimes the pressure on you of giving the exam or during the exam is different, and when you are studying alone, I mean, when you're doing the exam, the normal chapter wise test and all, because those 4 hours are really critical. Because if suppose the difficult questions comes initially, like 5 to 6 questions are difficult, and then it will break your morale, and you will like, अरे यार मेरे को कुछ नहीं आ रहा है. Then it might happen that you don't even go and the next questions are simpler, but still you get confused. Iska answer could be something else also. So that pressure, handling the pressure is also important. And third thing is completing all the sectional test, and I would say even if you're not able to complete the mock test, all the mock tests like 3, 4, or even revisiting the papers of the earlier years, at least you should give 2 mock tests and look at the solutions, because the kind of questions are different in each mock test or even the questions paper of the Swagger book. By the way, I did not complete, I did not get a time even to look at the BT questions. I read Swagger book, and I also read the Swagger question papers, the earlier question papers, and also the mock test or the sectional test and the chapter wise test of Fintelligence. So that was it. I was able to go through it, but the concepts explained in those chapters or the videos or even the test was awesome. So that is why I was confident that I will be able to clear the test when I went for the exam.
Wonderful, wonderful. And like you said, you did not solve BT because BT primarily is slightly heavier. And there is a
Right.
bit of myth that if you do not solve BT, you will not clear the exam. Because in the July exam, I've never primarily seen people who have, because people did not get time to solve that also. It was,
Exactly.
our
Yeah.
question bank itself was so heavy. So
Right.
I think so that is now shifting, and people are realizing that doing BT might not help in. It's obviously a very good question set, but it might not be relevant to the exam directly that way.
Right.
So great, so wonderful, Jinesh, and I'm really happy to have you over here. And we had a wonderful conversation. And this video, this discussion is definitely going to motivate people to come in the future and give the exam and to learn from your experience and understand about the exam better. They do not get demotivated because of the pressure that they have, the work schedule that they have, and especially if Jinesh can do in the first attempt, clear the exam the first attempt after a huge gap, then definitely it is possible for people who are in their third, fourth year of their job and they can too clear the exam, right? So from
Right.
that perspective, thank you very much, Jinesh, for sharing your journey, sharing your experience, and thank you very much for putting the time to the community. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.